Charbonnet. I imagine at last you found yourself a convert to Pasteurism.
No, Lister, I don't. I do not regard these carnival performances as conclusive.
Will be upon the future of creative medicine. It marks a definite turning point in the world of science.
Why are they laughing, my dear Pasteur?
Why not? Look at the crowd. Its back is to us. They cheer the happy conclusion of the Punch and Judy show.
Charbonnet is quite right. I haven't even heard what Rossignol is saying.
Pasteur, my friend, they don't understand.
Yes, they understand. But science, of course, cannot compete with the Punch and Judy show.
Dog, the irony of it at a time like this. They'll bring the blacksmith to burn her wound. If she'll not die from the rabies, she may from the shock of the burning iron, and yet all the doctors of Europe can do no more.
And we stand here and worry about our fame. That's the irony, sir. Why should that woman die?
Gentlemen, must we continue to allow the prattle of a mad theorist to undo the work of centuries and make a laughing stock of the entire medical profession? You have all read this article.
Mr. President, I have seen Pasteur produce rabies in healthy animals by injecting them with a fluid taken from the mouth of a mad dog.
Have you seen its germs?
Not yet, no.
Of course you haven't. There is no such thing. Pasteur imposes upon the public with his hallucinations.
What about his vaccine for anthrax? That is no theory, that is a fact. It not only elected him to this academy, it saved our farmers enough money to pay for the entire war.
Gentlemen, I am a Russian. My country sent me to investigate Pasteur's efforts. His fame is known to our peasants who for centuries have been preyed upon by rabid wolves. If Pasteur is unwilling to come to us, I say let us go to Pasteur.
Yes, we will go and expose once and for all this quack, this impostor. Monsieur Pasteur, in your last paper to us at the Academy, you said you were on the threshold of a vast new world. Might we inquire if you've crossed that threshold?
Oh, good question, Charbonnet. After all, Pasteur, the Academy has come to you.
Gentlemen, science takes a step, then another, then it stops and reflects before taking a third. A mother takes a nursing child, puts him down. The child takes its first step, then stops unsteadily. Would the mother be right to say to him, "You are hesitating. You will never walk"?
You do not believe me. In this little test tube now in my hand, there are enough death-dealing rabies germs to wipe out a city.
Really? Allow me.
Careful, Charbonnet.
No, it smells dreadful.
I implore you.
Why?
If you have the slightest scratch on your hand.
Oh, I see. Well, I do have something of a scratch. A cut from a nail as I entered your laboratory here. So now we shall see, eh? I'll pour a bit of your virus powder into my wound. There now. All I want is to have you predict the hour of my death.
All the dogs that were infected by the contents of that test tube died, except Charbonnet. It's been a month since he's been infected. I just don't understand.
But maybe that tube you had was left to stand too long.
Eh? Stand too long? Yes. Wait. Perhaps.
Oh! Oh! Yes, monsieur?
How old was that dried tissue when Charbonnet rubbed it into his wound?
14 days.
14. Suppose we started with an old virus that's no longer deadly. Suppose we inject it into a healthy animal, and day by day, as nature builds up his resistance, we increase the doses with stronger, fresher samples until he's able to withstand the actual disease. Would he not then be immune?
Oh, Louis.
Oh!
How many dogs have we left?
10 healthy ones. They've never been exposed.
Give them hydrophobia.
But, monsieur...
Give them hydrophobia.
Louis, a doctor to see you.
For me? Doctor?
Monsieur, we have come from Alsace. This little boy was bitten. I've done all I could, but that isn't very much. But you can help him.
Well, how long has it been?
11 days. The dog was rabid. I made the test.
Take the boy and put him to bed.
You will save him.
Don't misunderstand me. My treatment has saved dogs, 10 of them. But I haven't the faintest notion what effect it would have upon a human being. If I failed.
It would mean prison, Louis. Perhaps the guillotine.
Monsieur Pasteur, you are not a doctor. You cannot expect support from the medical profession. I implore you to attempt nothing irregular.
Yes, I know.
The boy will die anyway. It is worth trying. Anything.
Human life is at stake. Yet, they would crucify me if I failed.
Oh, monsieur, I beg of you, save my boy. My boy.
Should I do it? Should I? A child's life is at stake, and I ask if I should? I must!
Louis, what are you doing? Louis, you'll go to jail. To the guillotine.
Don't talk. He's asleep.
Yes, child? You're awake?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry. You're well. He's well. Pasteur! Pasteur!
What is it?
The boy. Look, he lives. He is over the crisis.
The serum works. Come, we must tell him at once. Louis! Louis, wake up, Louis. Louis, you've won. The serum is successful. The boy lives. He cries out for food. Louis. Louis, wake up. Louis! Dr. Charbonnet, you must come at once. My husband has been stricken.
Me? You asked me to wait upon him? But we're...
No, Dr. Charbonnet. My husband has faith in you. He respects your ability.
Madame, I have opposed him. I have been his enemy.
No, Dr. Charbonnet. The only enemy my husband has is disease.
Madame, I thank you for that. I'll call my carriage. We'll leave at once.
Louis? Louis, are you awake?
My side. I can feel nothing.
You've been unconscious.
The Meister boy. I've got to get up and see him.
No, Louis, no. Yesterday they dressed him and took him home. He is entirely well.
Good.
The doctor is here. Please, come in, doctor.
Well, Pasteur, how are you feeling?
Charbonnet? What does it mean?
It means that I'm your physician. That you must remain quiet for a few days.
Charbonnet? I appreciate this.
Oh, it's not for you to appreciate me. It's for me to join the legion of those who appreciate you and your genius. Ah, monsieur, you've triumphed again. I have come to treat a patient who has been my teacher.
Dr. Charbonnet.
Madame, how is he?
Oh, he seems well enough, but listless. He doesn't seem to care, to have an interest, to fight.
Oh. I'll have a talk with him. We have something that might interest him, eh? Will you follow my lead?
Oh, yes, Doctor, of course.
Good morning, monsieur. You're looking better.
Good morning, Dr. Charbonnet. I'm afraid I don't feel better. I feel tired and old.
Oh, I'd rather hope that you'd be feeling your old self again, particularly today.
Why, today?
Well, I would relish seeing the old Pasteur in action.
Action? What do you mean?
Well, Dr. Reux just told me when I arrived that some foreign scientist is giving a lecture at the Sorbonne this afternoon. He claims he will disprove your entire germ theory.
What? Marie, is that right?
Yes, Louis.
Who is that man? What's his name?
We don't know.
But, of course, you're too tired.
Tired? Nothing. Order the carriage, bring me my clothes. We'll go there at once.
You're just in time. They've arranged for you to sit on the platform.
Courage, my dear. I'll be listening.
Whom are they applauding?
It's Dr. Lister of Scotland.
Lister. Lister to speak against me?
This way, sir. They're waiting for you.
President of France is here, and Lister, you?
Monsieur Pasteur, we greet you in the name of humanity.
Monsieur, mankind is waiting.
Charbonnet.
They'll all come. Look up, my friend. Look up into the gallery. The medical students, the youth, to pay you homage.
I have no words as to express. You young men in the gallery, you doctors and scientists of the future, do not let yourselves be tainted by a barren skepticism, nor discouraged by the sadness of certain hours that creep over nations. Do not become angry at your opponents, for no scientific theory has ever been accepted without opposition. Live in the serene peace of libraries and laboratories. Say to yourselves first, what have I done for my instructions? What am I accomplishing? Until the time comes when you may have the immense happiness of thinking that you have contributed in some way to the welfare and progress of mankind.
Out here in Hollywood, getting stars' autographs is a major occupation. Way back when Abraham Lincoln was president, Dr. Squibb first signed his name on a container of ether. That name, his autograph, was his pledge that the ether he himself had produced was safe, pure, and effective. His own burning quest for perfection had resulted in something unheard of up to that time, a drug of unquestioned purity and uniformity. But for Dr. Squibb, ether was only the beginning. He began to produce other essential drugs with the same hitherto unheard of insistence on perfection. And doctors came to insist on using products that bore the signature Edward R. Squibb. And the house of Squibb began to grow. Others came to work with Dr. Squibb to share his wholehearted devotion to the cause of human health and to carry on down through the years the work he began. That's why today the name Squibb is still a pledge, a kind of composite signature or autograph of the thousands who work so faithfully to maintain the original Squibb standard of perfection, to keep Squibb a name you can trust. Next week, Academy Award starring Brian Donlevy and the Great McGinty. Mr. Paul Muni has just completed the Charles R. Rogers production, Angel on My Shoulder, a United Artists release. This is Hugh Brundage bidding you good night until next week at the same time when the House of Squibb invites you to join us for Academy Award. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcast.